Well, I just got out this morning, and I'm gonna look at that beautiful sunrise out there. Just barely made a cast with my sandworm, and I've had 2 hits, but I didn't get either one of them in. So I'll check my bait and see if I've got bait and get on back out there. But today I'm going to be doing a lot of explaining, a lot of talking about what's right and what's wrong as far as wanting to go ahead and fish in Playa del Carmen from the shore. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a few fish that I catch, but at the same time it's more important that you understand that there are some rules here, spoken and unspoken, written and unwritten, about how to fish from the shore in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Thanks for watching. I'm sure some of you are asking, well, why is he doing this kind of video at Playa del Carmen? Well, it's really simple. I'm trying to do the same thing I do at home, and that's try to teach people how to have some fun fishing, even when they're on a vacation. And so the challenge for me is that I was looking and have been looking really hard for information about fishing, specifically Playa del Carmen, where to fish, where you can fish, where you can't fish, and I found no information out there. So I'm trying to do this video basically as information to anybody that's coming down here on what they can do to learn how to fish from the beach, you know, and what works, what doesn't work or hasn't worked, and then what to look for. So I'm going to really try hard to give you as much information as you can. So if you watch this video and look at the description of the product and stuff like that, you should be able to come down and have a great opportunity to catch some fish. It's my little number 6 mosquito hook. I've got an actual 3/4 ounce slide sinker on there for my Carolina rig, and this is the little sandworm that I'm using. And I'll tell you what, this is a fish catching little son of a gun. I'm not catching big fish with it, but I'm sure catching fish. It's been a lot of fun while we've been here. Let's see if I can catch one this morning. Cute little guy. I think I'm going to use him for bait. There we are. Don't know what we've got here, but it seems like a pretty nice little fish. There we go. There we go. That's a beautiful little guy. Look at that. Look at that, would you? It's like a pretty nice little fish. That last little guy just hit me almost as I was bringing there's a few stair steps in the sand going down, and I was just bringing my Carolina rig right back up to me, not more than 5 feet away, and this fish came up and took it. It's a crappie sized fish. I wish I knew more about the species, but that's the cool thing about taking pictures of them. I can go home and look at them and see what they are. There's beautiful sunrise out there. Just a little bit left of Cozumel out there, about 20 miles away. You can see, perhaps you can see the hotels and some of the stuff that's out there, but beautiful sunrise. Amanecer in Espanol. Okay, so what I'm finding here is that I'm on a standard beach. I've got a nice bunch of condominiums behind me, and right out here in front of me, it gets really Well, it goes about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deeper here, and then it stair steps out a little bit. So all I'm doing is I'm very slowly bringing my Carolina rig up over those stair steps. I can feel it with my weight. Normally I'd have about a 1/2 ounce weight, but because of the wind and the waves the last few days, I've gone to 3/4 ounce. And it seems to be working just fine. I've already caught 3 fish. Only landed 2 of the 3. Missed the 3rd one that came off. But the cool thing is they're biting right out here. They're biting within, oh, I don't know, 5 yards of me for sure. So those fish are coming in following the tide. The tide's coming up slowly but surely. But there's my rig. If you can see it, what a tiny little sandworm. The best bait that I've had for the smaller fish has been this Berkeley Gulp saltwater version, and it's in the camo. Sandworms, 2-inch sandworms, and that's the baby right there. They've been really good. I fished it on 3 different beaches, and on all 3 beaches I've caught fish with it. Now I'm trying for some larger fish, so I'm going to switch to fishing with some shrimp or maybe even some sardines here in a minute. But it sure is fun to know that we can catch them on artificial and not have to resort only to bait. It doesn't really affect my day because we can go out and do everything we want a little bit later, but in the morning before everything wakes up, it's a great time to be out here fishing. Okay, so I'm now fishing an area called Coco Beach. Hugely popular playa, beach. And a lot of fishing boats go out from here. But I'll just give you a little panorama. Thousands of people use this on the weekends. But the point is that I've already caught 4 good bites. 3 fish. Did not have my camera on, but that's okay. All I'm trying to do is give you an idea. You can fish from Coco Beach, which is right there where you see those lights over there, all the way around this point, all the way to those, and even beyond those high rises over there. So you've got probably 3 to 4 miles of beach that you can fish. So that's an exciting thing, and it's one of those things that I wanted to put in this video. So if you can get to Coco Beach, realize that anything to the east of Coco Beach is going to be okay for you to fish. Now, you got to be careful. You don't want to be fishing when you've got 1,000 people in the water, because that doesn't make any sense. And they really don't have because of the current in the ocean, people don't really have a sense about them to know that they're going to be in your way. So what I do is I try to find either I want to be here early in the morning so that people aren't out in the water yet, or I want to be here later in the evening when most of the people have gone. Now you can see right now that I've got one little girl coming over in right here, but other than that I'm by myself. So I'm still using my same Carolina rig, 3/4 ounce weight, maybe a 3-foot leader. I'm using 16-pound fluorocarbon sunline for my line. I'm using a number 6 mosquito hook for my hook, and I'm using Berkeley sandworms in the Gulp series, and I'm using the camo color, and that's been the winner for me on the finesse bite. And yes, they're smaller fish, but you know what? I caught 2 days ago I caught 3 snook that were all 3 real decent size, and so the idea is that, yeah, you're going to catch a lot of small fish, but most of you that are going to be coming to Playa del Carmen aren't going to be necessarily cooking your own food. A lot of people come in the all-inclusives, and so they really don't have a way to cook their fish. So catch and release is a great thing anyway. And I'm just trying to make sure that you don't think that you can just, if you're at the Hilton, that you can just go behind the Hilton and go fish. They just won't let you do that now. So you have to come to these areas where Coco Beach is the one on the east that you start at, and then you can go farther east. and then all the way over to the other side where Playa Car starts, and that's right at the where the ferries, the main ferries come in and out. There's a smaller one at the Hilton, but the larger pier is the one to the west and south just a little bit. And just beyond that, all of the Playa Car area is available to fish. And that's one of my favorites to do right now, to fish right now. But I still love this area, and it's wild, and there's a lot of reefs. And I think that there'll be certain times that you could take a jerkbait or even a topwater lure and really get some action out here right over the top of the reefs. And the reefs are right here close. I mean, I can make a full cast with this rod and get hung up every time on a reef. So there's a lot of good stuff here for you to fish. You know, a lot of people that come down and fish Playa del Carmen are worried about security. You know, I read some posts about people getting mugged and stuff like that on the beaches, and you know, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless you're really stupid. Because all of these, like Playa Coco Beach here where I am, you have a beautiful hotel on one side of the walk down to the beach from the main road, and you have and then on the other side you have a little bit of a jungle, but that jungle has a 10 foot high fence on it, and so first of all, it's well lit. Secondly, the jungle, you can't even get to it because there's a fence, and it's a very, very, very busy, popular place. I just can't imagine anything bad happening to you. The police presence is always around. It would have to be a really rare occurrence for somebody to worry about their security here. Now, having said that, if you go out to the southwest, like I was telling you that I like to do out at Playa Car, you can go far enough that you get out of the security zone, and that's probably a 2-mile hike. In fact, we took it the other day. Jeri and I took it the other day, and we went all the way out to the last security sign that said, look, everything else after that, we can't guarantee your safety. And so we stopped right there. But the whole idea is that we had a full 2 miles of area we could have fished all the way out to that point. So I personally would not be worried about the security as long as you don't do stupid things. Don't get out there totally by yourself with nobody else around. Usually have somebody close by. Either if you're going with your spouse, bring your spouse. If not, just try to see other people in the area that you're fishing. And there's a lot of people that just walk the beaches. That's how they get their kicks, is just walk in the beaches. So you can just look and be prepared for that. But Playa del Carmen, we've been here. We've only come for 3 years in a row, but the 3 years that we've been here, we've felt completely secure, not worried about a thing. But then again, we don't do stupid things. We just kind of stay around people, and don't usually find ourselves walking through the middle of a jungle with not knowing, number one, where we're going, and number two, what's around us. So that's my little 2 bits about security. You're pretty safe down here, especially when you're fishing. All I'm doing this morning is throwing a Carolina rig with a sandworm on it, and every time I get it out there, I'm getting hits, but I think they're smaller fish because I'm setting the hook right and they're just not there. So they could just be smaller fish out there, but I've got a nice sandbar out here, so it's not I'm not really worried at this point about snags or reefs or anything like that right now. And there we go. Oh, missed him. I think I've got him on actually, but it's a tiny fish. Tiny fish. I got a little bait. Caught a little bait this morning already. That's a cute fish. I caught a bunch of fish like this, a lot larger last time I was out. So at least I know that what I've got's working, and now we just want to get some a little bit bigger fish. I've got a bunch of little fish out there. Every single cast I get bit. So it's kind of a fun start to the morning, a beautiful morning at that. Very little wind this morning. Low tide is at like 7:43 and it's about 7 o'clock right now. So it's actually 7:11. So we'll see if we can't get a few bigger fish to come and take a look at us. Boy, look at that sunrise now. Got a couple of ferries coming over from Cozumel, or Cozumel in Spanish. And this is, I guess, probably as picturesque and calm and tranquilo that you'll ever find here. The wind's been blowing for the last week pretty hard from the south, and now we've got a northeast wind, which makes it pretty flat out here. It'd be a great day to be out in the boat fishing too. That's a little bit better fish. Yeah, look at these. These are such fun fish. Got off. That's very good. I like it. Good. I hope you saw that. I guess you can catch crabs with the camera on there that I'm using. I thought I had a bite. Catching a little more bait. That's kind of a cool little fish. There it is, taking that little sandworm. This is Artes de Pesca. It's located on 30th Avenue and 2nd Street North. And we're going to go inside and I'll show you a few things that are in there. But this is the one store that I could tell you has the things you need for all your fishing, including from boats, but specifically for fishing from, surf fishing, fishing from the shore. Okay, we're inside Artes de Pesca, and if you'll notice, they've got all sorts of rattle traps. They've got all sorts of minnow-looking baits. So you can see that they have a lot of baits. Now, over here, I would call this the amberjack jig area, and it's not just necessarily amberjack, but that's what I fished with them. And they have a lot of nice jigs that you can buy, and then of course they've got a lot of plugs, a lot of spoons, and so all of this is just to prepare you for going out, depending on who you hire to take you out in a boat. Now, if you're not going out in a boat, I'm looking over the top of my friends here, and they've got all kinds of leader material, line. They have a lot of hooks, in Spanish, anzuelos, and they've got a lot of opportunities there for you. They do have many times fresh sardines. They don't happen to have them today, but they've had them every other time that I've come in, and so they have a full selection of things. They have rods, they have reels, they have all sorts of plastics. So if you and even sunglasses. So if you are serious about doing some fishing down here and would like to have a friend in the fishing business, Armando at Artes de Pesca is the guy to come and see. They've got sun shirts. It's just a full, complete store, and quite frankly, it's the only one that I found in Playa del Carmen in a month of looking. So it's very, very important for me that you realize that it's not the easiest thing in the world to come down here and say, hey, I'm going to go catch fish from the shore or from the surf and just go do it, unless you have some experience previously. I'm fishing a tide pool right here, and you know, if you see where the waves are breaking out there, that's where it's only probably a foot deep there. But here, between here and the shore, see, I'm up to my waist, so it's probably 7-8 feet deep between here and where that is breaking. So if you'll notice, I'm getting hit. You can see that I'm getting hit all the time, and basically what's going on is I think I'm getting hit by sardines. Now here's one coming in right here. Yep, nope, yep. Well, not quite, but that's a nice little fish. But that's what's hitting me practically every time. Actually, that's a pretty good little fish. Yep. So you know, if that were, you know, 10 to 12 incher, I'd eat it. But it's a nice little fish. Good. So as I was saying, if you look at my rod tip, you realize that I'm in just an absolute school of these fish, and that normally they'll just take my bait, because they're not, you know, you know, if I get one that just slams me, that's going to be a 12-14 incher, and those have been fantastic to eat. But there we go, another one. Hope I can get it in. It's a little bit bigger fish. Has to go through a lot of slop to get to me, but here we are. There we go. See, that's a better fish. Look at the stripes it's producing. There you go. See, this has those vertical stripes. In the Pargo class. Beautiful fish. There we go. You know, and it's kind of funny. I've realized, you know, that first of all, if you just go look and say, let's go to Google and figure out what kind of reef fish there are here in Playa del Carmen. It's a tough nut to crack, because you can't really see pictures of them, and then at least the searches that I've been able to do, and see the kinds of fish that are here, because there's so many of them, number one, and so it's been kind of an interesting thing to try to figure out what kind of fish I'm actually catching. So I met with Armando down at Artes de Pesca, and I showed him some photos of some of the fish. And so what I've learned is that I've been catching a lot of snapper. Down here they call them Pargo, and I've been catching those. I've been catching a few snook. I've had quite a few fish in the grouper family, small groupers, and then yeah, that's been essentially it. So we've had there's a potpourri of fish, but my goodness, if you're just releasing them just to feel these fish, I don't care if they're this small. It just doesn't matter. Just getting them on the line and seeing all the activity is just an absolute kick. There we go. Sorry.
I didn't want to.
Sorry.
I got nervous. Sorry.
That's okay.
Holding it back and
There's a little snapper. Very beautiful. Very nice. It gets a little dicey when the tide's coming in, tide's going out. Uh-oh, I got one that's slamming me, but it's still another tiny one. Nothing really big. He's on. He's got the hook. He's got it. And there he goes. Just like the last one. We've eaten some larger ones of those, 12, 14 inchers. Well, as I'm fishing this morning, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Don Alphin on Fishing. It was an informative video. I hope that you get the idea that you can find everything if you just watch the video and get into the description. You're going to be able to figure out a way to fish from the shore, fish from the surf at Playa del Carmen, Mexico, or quite frankly in a whole lot of different areas, but specifically where you can fish, where you can find your tackle, and then hopefully give you some ideas on how to catch numbers of fish, not necessarily the biggest fish in the world, but numbers of fish. And oh, there was a nice hit that I missed right there next to me, and it took my bait. So anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I've got a lot of videos, a lot of different things, but this one I think is one that was needed because there's so little information down here on exactly what you need to do to be able to successfully surf fish in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day.